Everybody, and welcome to the Till the Wheels Fall Off podcast. And I'm your host, Spice from SpiceLifeTv, and this is my gorgeous husband, Creed.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. What's up, y'all? I'm Creed, and I'm your co-host for the Till the Wheels Fall Off podcast, where we focus on relationships and reintegration for our fellow man coming back into society, wanting to join and wanting to elevate himself. We're here to discuss all those things and learn with y'all and grow with y'all.
Yes, and for those of you who don't know, those are our topics because, of course, we are married and in a relationship. And also, Creed just came home after serving 24 years after being incarcerated for a crime he did not commit. So we are talking about our life and our transition back into society.
Absolutely.
So, thank you guys for being back here with us again for another episode. We are trying to make this a weekly thing, but I hope you guys all know we are both doing full-time jobs, and sometimes recording and editing and getting things out is difficult. So, while the goal is every week, if you miss a week, we are okay. We'll be back.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Keep tabs on our Instagram, which I'll put down at the bottom, and I will start making sure that I post that in there so you guys know what's going on.
Absolutely.
All right, babe, you ready to get into it?
Let's get cracking.
Cool. All right, so our first segment of the show is typically our high-low, and that is where we share our high and our low from the week. Mm-hmm. Babe, do you want to start what your high is, what your low is, what you got going on this week?
You know, it's funny is with everything that with this podcast is about, this week I was at work, and the president of my company came to my job and was like, hey, when I hired you, I discussed that with you, and he remembered everything that we talked about on the phone. And so he was like, I just want to talk to you about that and what that looks like and what the pathway is. I don't know if that's still the goal or whatever. And so he was very engaging with me. And so I just got a call from a guy who actually runs a reentry type company. And I have a meeting with him, just kind of discuss and throw around some ideas about how I could dip my foot in the water and be of assistance. And I think this is all going to come together.
Yeah.
So this is like the goal and a half for us. You know what I'm saying? So the highlight was, not only did I not have to bring this to the boss, he asked me, and I was able to just present it as like, you asked me, so I'm telling you. And he was very receptive.
That's good.
So he said after that meeting with the reentry guy, my boss said after the meeting with the reentry guy, hey, let's meet and have coffee or something. And so I believe with everything in me that meeting's going to happen. Yeah. And so, but until then, I want to count my chickens to that hatch. But it's just
great.
Dope. The conversation was
dope. That's dope, especially since he brought it to you.
He did.
Normally, that's really rare that a supervisor comes back, unless it's like review time. They might be like, hey, how can we do performance development or professional development? But for him to be like, we had ideas. Let's talk more about it.
He definitely was.
That's a testament to you.
Well, I appreciate that.
Do your thing, baby.
It felt good. So what's up with you?
Tell me about your high. Okay, I'm going to tell you. You remember how last week I told you my high and low was the fact that my body hurt. But I will say that it has paid off because within that 1 week, your girl has lost 5 pounds this week. My pants was a little loose.
Give it up.
A little loose. So I'm back to my, not quite skinny jeans, but my normal fitting jeans. I done put my big girl jeans back away because they're a little big.
Spice been giving it up, y'all. She been up in there working out, sweating.
Working out.
Down there falling out for the love of it.
I got an ankle brace on.
Yeah, she's been a soldier. I give you props. You've been a soldier within your thing. And you know what? More than anything, the workout. The end of it, you show up every time. That's the biggest issue that a lot of people have. And you ain't no new booty to working out. I know that, but I'm just saying a lot of people be having that issue with showing up. It's hard to show up. Yeah, and you be there every time.
The only reason is because I don't want to disappoint you. Because it ain't because of me.
Well, I appreciate it because we've been doing our thing.
We have, y'all. What I have learned is that I like to say that I work out. But the actual act of doing it, I despise it and have never enjoyed it. Getting me to do it, I show up, but I do have an attitude. And you've been really good at helping me kind of redirect that. Or you'll switch up the workout a little bit to get me out of my head. And then after, I always feel good. And then now it's like starting to pay off. And already, it's only been 2 weeks, but I can tell like things are picking up faster. Like we went jogging yesterday, y'all, and we did good.
Listen, we was pushing ourselves, pushing each other, running up the hill and everything. We was doing our thing yesterday.
We did sprints, a couple sprints.
Yeah, so
he didn't beat me as bad as he thought he was going to beat me.
You thought I didn't think I was going to beat you.
You thought you were going to crush me.
I didn't think I was going to beat you.
And these little legs can move. Don't
moving.
Don't let this big body fool you.
They was doing their thing.
This big body Ben's got some movement behind her.
I turned around. He was right there.
Yeah.
I said, okay.
Don't play with this.
She's doing her thing.
Don't play with me. Okay, so the low. You know what I'm going to tell you? Because listen, I'm going to just tell you this week at my job, white people been white peopling. They've been white peopling this week, and it has been something that is like, y'all.
Okay.
So it's been one of those. Lots of meetings about stupid things. The last month has been full of meetings of empty promises, and just so that we can say that we met to create another meeting to do nothing, that it could have all been wrapped up in an email. Or don't ask me when you're just going to do what you want to do. And don't make it seem when you ask me my opinion and I give it to you that now, oh, she's mad and she's everything. Like, y'all, this is what I'm telling you. You're stupid. This is dumb. Let's move on. Can't always say that at work.
And they can't accept that.
No,
even
because
if they know they're being that.
And even if one of them said it. But when I say it, it's like, oh.
That's what they do?
It's a lot.
I hear you.
Okay. What's your low?
I think, honestly, for the second week in a row, I can honestly say I don't have one.
First of all, you ain't going to be making me look bad like I just complain on here every week.
Nah.
You going to come up with a low.
Nah, it's just,
Or we just going to call it high. You ain't going to be having me on here with my complaints.
Nah, I mean, it's just like,
oh.
but I could complain about, being kept a little late after work one day. You remember that one day I was like, I was kind of mad about the timing of stuff happening and whatnot. I complain about that, but I mean, honestly, those things are nothing compared to the big picture. So I'm like, damn.
Okay, you see what he did? He just said, see, but compared to the big picture, he just totally threw me some shade.
That's crazy.
That's shade.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that. You need to cut that out. You should really stop acting like that.
That is shade. Okay.
World, y'all know I'm not
like
that. I'm not that type of a person. I wouldn't do that. I would not throw shade. What I'm saying is the big picture wise, I'm saying as far as bad stuff that's happened.
No, I get it.
I'll be kind of be like, damn, man. And you know how sometimes you gotta be checking yourself about complaining, and then you be like, and so then when somebody pointedly asks you week to week, what's your low? You be having to knock stuff off like, okay, that's nothing to complain about. That's nothing to complain about. It's almost to the point where it's like, yeah, I've had probably about 30 minutes a day where I was upset about something and then moved on.
I'm glad that's for you. I love that for you. I'm hoping that I get there this week.
Listen, you doing your thing.
I do well when I have to, when I can limit my interactions. But that COVID is apparently over and the world is open and folks is back out here. And it just is now, I can tell that my patience and my attitude is just not ready.
People be thinking you like them.
They do. That's the problem.
You like them.
I don't like you. I do not like you. No, I'm joking.
And I don't mind it.
I do like people a lot, but I'm very much like here. Like, I like you, but just stay where I put you. Mm-hmm. But we're working on that.
Yeah.
Therapy.
We're dope.
All right. The next segment we're going to move on to is our question of the week. So we ask each other questions from a random question game. And this one happens to be the No Couple is Safe Quarantine Pack. So we each ask each other a question and then we will see what comes up.
These people are so out of line.
Okay, you pick.
These people are so out of line. See, just like this.
What?
Me or the kids?
You, I don't have no kids.
No. Well, then we got to scratch this one because that's some bull.
No, but I feel like, even if that was the real question, if it comes down to you or my kids, I'm going to always pick you because I know you are the catalyst for us making sure our kids are safe. Mm-hmm. You picking you means my kids are good too. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
That's why I still would pick you.
Mm-hmm.
Because we would be in that together. And both of our main focus would be to get these kids. And I know I can do it, but I also could do it better with you having my back and support me do it. So, and if me and you are good, them kids is going to be good. So I always want to make sure on so many levels that it's always, I'm picking you first.
I like the style. I like Spice's style, world.
I'm just saying, babe.
Get your money,
I'm just saying, babe.
Get me so we can get these kids.
Okay.
All right.
In that order.
Yeah.
My question is,
I'm just saying.
Am I your first choice?
With everything.
Have I always been your first choice? Think about it. Has there ever been a time? Think about it and tell the people the truth. Has there ever been a time that I wasn't your first choice?
No. There was never a time that you wasn't my first choice. What are you talking about? Think about it. I don't have to think about that.
Okay, good.
You just wasted time on this goddamn thing making me pause for a second. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? The thing is, it's not even about choices. Like, okay, you make a choice because you have options. Mm-hmm. So when you make a choice for a person, you're showing them that they're the number one option. I think that's the most important thing about it. Like you've heard of the saying about somebody making somebody their second
their option instead of their priority.
Exactly, something like that.
Yeah, don't make him your priority when he makes you his option.
Yeah, so what I think is dope about being in love is that you get to show the person that you with that you're option number one. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my choice, I choose you. And when I have the freedom, when I don't. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
I think you do a good job of making me feel that way.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Mm-hmm. That's the goal. That's what we here for.
That's what we here for. All right. Well, thank you. Mm-hmm. Okay, so last week you guys saw that we did an interview with a writer, which your boy is the host. Absolutely. And so he told you that this week we were going to do the interview with the roller.
Absolutely.
And I will be asking your boy some questions. So I have gained a little bit. I put together a list, and then some of you had put in questions in the comments, so I grabbed some of those too. So we got a good handful of questions I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
So are you ready?
I'm ready.
And in the vein of last time, before we get started, interview with the roller.
Wait until a certain person reenacts yours. Your
She probably will.
Yeah.
Whatever.
She made me so mad with that. That was so stupid.
My cousin Kim was imitating his song, his intro song, and it was funny. All right, Creed, are you ready for this?
Let's go.
Are you ready for this? These are hard-hitting questions.
When I say let's get cracking,
the tea will be spilt. Maybe. Not really, probably.
Not really.
But I'm going to start off. Let's just give the people what they want.
Okay.
Why didn't you let me go? Fly like a bird, I want to fly away.
You know, that'll always be a dilemma. Right? Amongst people. Like, people split down the middle about what you do. People come with the saying, like, you know, if you love something, let it go. If it comes back to you, it's yours.
Right.
That's definitely
an option, a perspective.
And it works for some things.
Yes.
Not always just people. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people would say a person in that position who is looking at all this time, about to go to prison and all that, is just holding on to what he can hold on to. And one thing that was never with me during this time was fear. So there was never like to hold on to you because I had nothing else to hold on to. Like I told you just the other day, like I'm not with you because I can't live without you. I'm with you because I want to see you every damn fucking day of my life, right? So that's why I'm with you. That's why I kept you. And then I'm going to the joint and I can't even see you every day. So that's what I'm grasping at. Is like I have to be with this woman. Mm-hmm. And so on a lot of fronts, I feel like you can definitely call me selfish for holding on to you on a lot of fronts. And when I say that is a lot of events and things that were going on where maybe you could have been enjoying that with somebody else, have been in a relationship. But overall, I don't regret it. So people can call me selfish if you want to. I just shrug my shoulders because I loved you. And at the end, I knew what the goal was. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain person, certain artists talk about the marathon. Mm-hmm. And that's what our relationship was. It's always been like a marathon.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? It was never about quick lust, and never about, you know what I'm saying, like doing it right now. It was all about, I want you forever. And for some reason, somehow, some way, I don't care how it happens, I'm going to have you forever. You don't let people go when you want that. You let people go when you hope for that, and you just let the world kind of direct that. But I wanted to be the director of that. Like, I'm keeping this here. This is me. And that's the type of expectation you're going to have for the rest of your life. Like, if he wants something, he's going to say, this is me, because that's what he's done with me all his life. And that's what I'm still doing. I'm out here, I'm living with you, cohabitating, learning, relearning. The best part about it is that I'm doing it all with you, which was the goal at the beginning.
Yeah.
So I hope that answers your question, but that's why I ain't let you go. World, that's why I ain't let her go.
All right. Question number 2. By the way, I was feeling your first question. Answer. You'll reap the benefits of that later.
Boop, 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 boop.
Boop, boop.
Okay. All right. Let's get cracking.
All right. Did you ever question my faithfulness to you? Ooh, I want to know.
Okay. Here's an interesting one right here.
Okay.
It's a short sentence. No. Short answer. No.
Okay.
I questioned if you had the ability when you first went to college. And I think you remember how I kind of was when you went out, how I was just like, one of the big things I was like, represent me. You know what I'm saying? That was I was like, don't even play. Like, I was serious because I know the scene. Yeah. Like, I used to be in the scene. I used to go up there. I used to sell this and that at all those scenes. I know, and I was like, and the thing is, I know why Zoo. I never partied up there, did nothing up there, but I used to hear about it because Cashapp used to be like, man, come up here. They be getting down, and that's the school you going to. And I'm like, ain't this about a bitch? And I know I got a good girl. So after probably like the first between 6 months and a year, all that shit went away. I wasn't even thinking about that no more. And while you were there, I wasn't like, who you with? I was just kind of like, you know what I'm saying, while you there doing your thing, because you was meeting a lot of guy friends and whatnot, and just, you know, let them know about your boy, because I do the same thing.
No, you didn't get, to me, I would never say you were crazy, but you didn't get, when we started to have a problem with some of the, like, what is it, possession, control, what would you call that behavior?
Control, definitely.
That was after college, which is surprising. Like, you kind of got more controlling after college than when I was in college. You were very, like, you kind of were, like, cautious with me being around a lot of guys, but you understood the scene, and I think you kind of knew, like, I cannot be sitting in this room. There's no way. And I feel like if you had to push too hard, it would have probably pushed me away.
Well, I think that what happened was, at that point, I was just kind of losing control of everything. Like, I started to realize that I just really had no control over anything in my life anymore.
Yeah.
And
because we lost a couple appeals by then. Yeah. When I was out of school. Yeah. So it was like
a lot of stuff going on. I remember that I had all my worldly possessions was kind of gone then. They got lost, sold or whatever. You know, remember that situation? Yeah. It was just kind of like I was out here, and I was. You know what I'm saying, world, in that type of situation. Not to make an excuse about it, but I was controlling to the point where I just didn't want you to do anything fun. I feel like when you wanted to have fun, I would get mad. Because I was like, here go the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Not you, but I didn't want dudes all up in your face and shit and whoopty wop. And insecurity definitely played a part in that. Let's just call it what it is. You know what I'm saying? You up in the joint, and you see your cats getting Dear John letters all the time, and you know this ain't your girl, but you know how dudes is. You know they relentless. You know what I'm saying? They don't take no for an answer. You know what I'm saying? And you a good girl, and everybody wants the good girl.
But they didn't. That was the thing. I was so good. They knew they wasn't getting this.
Yeah, because see, you wasn't walking around looking like you was single.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, and I didn't even know how to do that, because I always would say, like, well, I'm out here, I don't even really get no play out like that. Like, every once in a while, and normally it was people way out of my age range that were checking for me, but my age, I never got any play. And a lot of my guy friends were like, yeah, because nothing about you says available. Yeah, nothing on you says I'm interested, available, or nothing. And I don't know what I gave off or how to say to do that, because it was nothing I tried to do.
It's just a look that you knew girls that was in your same situation that was with dudes that was in my situation. you knew that they would, when they go out, they look like they're available. You kind of know what that looks like. You didn't look like them when you went out. You were just kind of like out there. She's out here to have a couple drinks. It looks
Yeah, I
like I'm
was
gonna let her do her
always
thing.
listen. I've been 40 since I was 20.
You
Like
crazy.
I've always been 40. At 16, I was the 37-year-old mom with 3 kids. Always that girl,
You
just
crazy.
very responsible, very just like, yeah, let's follow the rules and let's keep it going. I've just always had that personality, so that's probably part of it.
Yeah, but I mean, to answer your question, I mean, yeah, that was a bad time right there.
We had
Fully
a spurt of years of that.
Yeah.
And we can talk about that. I think that's probably a whole episode.
Yeah, it could be.
Because that was a lot.
Could be a couple.
But yeah, we went through some things where we didn't necessarily think we were going to make it through.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your biggest regret in or about our relationship? So what was your biggest regret in our relationship or about our relationship?
Biggest regrets.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That's a good one. That's a good one.
You want to think about it and come back to it?
No, I ain't gotta think about it.
Oh,
Biggest
you know?
regret. Well, I'm just going off the first thing that comes to my mind is, I remember when about a year after I fell, I got convicted, and I got my news from my appeal.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And going in this situation, and one thing I know everything about is the crime and the system and all that, and I'll be able to tell you like it's gonna happen like this. One thing I didn't know is the legal system, especially post conviction, and everybody loses. And so, with me being up in there, knowing what I know about my crime, which is I know I ain't do it, I was up in there like, okay, this first one's gonna go through, and we're gonna be home. And yeah, when it came back, it fucked me up, and I didn't know how to tell you that. So, what happened was I get the news, and I didn't tell her immediately that I had got the news about my appeal, and I think you found out from my mom's, and I think I probably known about I want to say a good probably 6 weeks.
Oh, that long?
I think it was about 6 weeks. I knew about it.
And I knew it was a while.
No. It was actually, it was 6 weeks. And the reason why is because when I got it, I had 3 weeks to respond. And then I had a 3-week
that's
extension.
Right. Yeah,
and,
that's right. Okay, I did know that.
And so, yeah, that's a huge regret because that's I lied to you. And I didn't tell you, and you was in this with me. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know how I am.
How are you?
I'm sitting up here screaming. I'm sitting up here screaming, represent me and loyalty and all that. And you was in the thing. You was in the trenches with me. And not to make no excuse, but if you ask me to this day, like why, I'll be like, I honestly didn't know how, and I took the easy way out. You know what I'm saying?
What did you think was gonna? What was the plan? What was the long game? What did you think?
Because I was like, okay, so I appealed that, and I was just waiting for that to come through.
So
and
you
then
thought if that appeal won, you could just
I was just be like,
okay,
you know what I'm saying? Because it didn't have to go through the whole process. It was a motion for the review of that, so it happens pretty quick. And so I was just like, man, let me shoot this in real quick, man. They tripping, you know what I'm saying? Resubmitted everything, spent money I didn't have, grinded for the money to be able to do it, and then I was just waiting, and then that happened, and I was like, fuck, and I will always regret. I don't never want to walk around regret not opening my mouth about anything. That's what I don't like, which sometimes it still gets me in trouble because I'll overtalk situations because I don't never want to walk away and say I did. I regret not opening my fucking mouth.
I mean, yeah.
Seriously, and I regret not being upfront, honest, and forthright with you about that situation, and I'll never get that back, and I'll never be able to give that to you the right way.
Yeah.
And I do. That's like my biggest regret.
Okay. Well, I mean, I've forgiven you for that a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was, I don't want y'all to think I just forgave him, though. That was a thing. That was a big.
Yeah, that was huge.
I don't even think I talked to him for a month after that. I was
huge.
Really like, oh, that's what you do? Okay. Yeah. Well, you gonna do that by yourself.
Yeah.
So please don't get it twisted. But this is an interview on him, so we'll save all the follow-up questions. If you have, put them in the comments. And we could
Yeah, I ain't no follow-up questions.
Yeah, I might have some follow-up questions. All right. So the next question. Mm-hmm. What have you learned about me since living with me that you didn't know? Something that surprised you, or like something that's quirky that's a new quirk that you weren't sure about, aware of?
You're deeply affected by lack of order, right? So it could be physical order or lack of order in your mind. Like if it's not in order in your mind. Mm-hmm. And when I say deeply affected, like we talked about this, y'all, about me being anal and haven't been as anal as I am about cleaning up I've been home. But I know how it is when you're like that and that affects you, right? It's kind of like, man, it makes you kind of mad. But for you, certain stuff like that, if something physically isn't right, like the configuration of our living room, mm-hmm. it would literally walk in here and it affected you differently. And dare I say more, mm-hmm. to the point where it would kind of mess up your day.
Like instant irritation. Like I didn't even want to be in here because it just did not feel right. Mm-hmm. And it literally was just the way the furniture was set up, and we did it for a practical reason. Mm-hmm. I threw my back out and I needed more space, so we pushed them together. But and we just kind of left it because it gave us like a different view of the TV that we normally don't have. But when I tell you, I despise this room. I couldn't think in here, sitting. He wanted to hang out and kick it in here, and I'd be like, "Look, can we go downstairs, or let's go in the room?" Because something about this room was just not giving me the flow that I needed. And he came home this week, and I have reconfigured it, and it's just like, okay, I can breathe.
You can breathe, and it's like I said, it's just that was a little bit. It's a little bit deeper, and I don't even know if you notice. And it's not for you to notice, but it's for you to be like, okay, he understands a little bit, kind of, because I'd be trying to be like, oh, that affects that. Had I known the configuration of the room would do have that much of an effect on your
you could tell the change of...
absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Number one, it wasn't very often that I come home and you be in this room. I came home that first day you was sitting here, and you remember what you was doing all the afternoon before I came home. Because you forgot to go get my damn weed. Y'all, time out, y'all. Listen, check this out. I call her. I said, from work. I'm like, no. You text me. You text me and was like, you want me to get you some weed? I was like, yes, 1,000 times, yes, babe. Thank you.
In my fairness, while he took a long time to respond, and in the meantime,
8 minutes, y'all.
And I had then rolled, and now I smoked. So you know what happens then. Now I'm chilling.
You are chilling.
And he done replied, and then I forget.
And you forgot. So I came home, and she was in that spot. She got up and gave the boy a kiss.
I did.
But she went right to that spot, y'all. So she likes being in this room, and there should never be a time where a woman you love doesn't want to be in a room in your house. You know what I'm saying? So
but see, the problem is I could not tell you why I didn't want to be in here. Mm. I just knew I could not stand it. Mm-hmm. I couldn't say what was wrong. So that's why sometimes it bothers me and it literally affects me, but I can't solve it. So I try to just not say anything because I don't know what the solution is. But it's like I just can't take it.
And so for somebody like me who's not had to deal with that, it could be a little you can be taken aback, like, okay, what's going on right now? You know what I'm saying? So just trying to hop on that and just be like, okay, trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Because it could be one thing one day and the next thing another day, or it could be one thing. No, I'm not clowning. I'm just saying, like, that's how it is when you have area and spaces that for you doesn't feel like it's in order. Mm-hmm. So it could be the living room today and it can be the kitchen tomorrow. You have to go in there, so we have to figure it out.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do.
You know, one thing just to piggyback off of what you were saying, and also last week we talked about just like cleaning and putting things away and everything having a place, and that was really always been important for you, and not everything has a place yet. Mm-hmm. But we kind of had epiphany this week that the reason not everything has a place is because you're dealing with so much more space than he's ever really dealt with.
Yeah.
There was always a place because there's no other place to put it.
Everything
and your room was what, 10 by 10? 8 by 10? 12?
10 by 10 on a good day, but most places 6 by 9.
Oh, so a 6 by 9, of course you're not losing stuff. Yeah. It's only can be in that room.
Yeah, true.
So that's probably why it's taking you a little bit of time too.
Yeah, because I lose something every day. Mm-hmm. That's one thing. And yeah, if I do one act in this room this day and I do it in another room that day, I'm lost because that's not my normal routine. Yeah. It's too far away.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, y'all, that prison is a condition.
It's
a condition when you get out of here that you just can't shake because you ain't got no bars no more. So, I'm trying to get it.
You're getting it, though.
We'll figure it out.
You're doing it. You're making good strides. Okay. Well, so you had mentioned, like, that you see how it affects me, and so my energy affects you. Is it something that you need to, like, that I need to know, like,
No, you're good.
Okay.
If that happens, then I'm gonna be like, listen, you know what I'm saying? I can't take this every day. You're going to figure this out.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you right now, it's like, but understanding that I don't have a problem doing my husbandly duties. When it comes to you need help with something, I'm here for you. Mm-hmm. The sense of having a warm body in the house that can't do nothing for you or can't help you out in these situations. So,
ladies,
let's get cracking.
A message. Okay. Any new quirkiness?
You're quirky, period.
I mean, yeah, but any new ones?
No. I didn't know you ran into walls and corners and stuff
I'm bruised up all the time.
This much.
All the time.
You used to tell me probably about a quarter of the times that you did it.
Well, because most of the time I don't even know I hit it.
Oh,
you see me run into stuff more than I feel running into stuff. And a lot of times it be these yitties just be in the way, just slapping walls. I can't.
Okay, you see
it. Between the yitties and my caboose, I always am running into something. Smashed up against something. I mean... Okay.
Period, though.
Next question. Have you wanted to leave since you've gotten here? Have you wanted to? Okay. Have you thought about going back? Like, would it be not saying you want to go back, but have you compared being here to going back and been like, some of that's easier?
No. I mean, I actually had somebody tell me that. Mm-hmm. But the joint ain't no place for me. You know what I'm saying? It's just it is what it is, and. There are some people that do kind of consider going back and whether or not being out here is better than that. And when you're 100% fed up, you're 100% done, ain't nothing going to talk to you about going back. Your mental ain't going to tell you. Nobody can make you go back. If you 80% fed up, then there's other trappings that can happen to lead you back. I'm 100% done. I'm cool. Mm-hmm. And so, I didn't live a couple lifetimes, and the only thing I want to do is live the rest of mine with you. And experience life and grow. You know what I'm saying? It's funny how as much life as I've actually lived doing negative stuff, it's stunning growth. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And negativity stunts growth because it's easy to swim in that same pool. You know what I'm saying? But when you got to get out here and in order to make it to a next step and elevate, you're forced to grow. Mm-hmm. You're forced to learn. You're forced to drop things. You're forced to do a lot of things in order to elevate. You're not forced to do anything when you're in the negativity.
Yeah.
You just only thing you have to do is just stay here with us.
Right.
Be us. Be in this culture. You know what I'm saying? And I just learned that, you know what I'm saying, I'm bigger than the culture. You know what I'm saying? And what I want and my wife is bigger than the culture. You know what I'm saying? I love the culture, but not more than you. And not more for what I want for us. So that's all. No, I'm not going back to the joint.
Okay.
No, I'm staying right here.
Yeah. Okay, what's something that not people know about you that would be a surprise?
That people don't know about me?
Yeah.
The thing is, I could say it right now and most people wouldn't even know. Probably that I probably watch the Andy Griffith Show every day. Every day.
Okay.
You want him to do you so much you could do anything?
Not only does he just watch it, y'all, he guffaws like this is the first time he's seen the episode, when really it's probably the 50th time he's seen the episode. He laughs like it's the first day, like it is present day, and it is the funniest thing on the planet. Like, I will be in the shower in another room, and I'll hear him be like, ah! Like, literally falling out laughing. And I'll come in, and I'm like, wait, ready to laugh, too. And here it goes. No, that's the Smurfs.
Yeah, it sure is.
What's the song?
You remember the whistle?
Wait. Yeah, wait, hold on, don't tell me.
That's what it is.
That song.
That's the song.
Andy Griffith and old Barney Fife.
I grew
and
up
Mean
on
Old
that.
Aunt B.
I grew up on that, and I didn't get to watch it in this joint. It don't come on cable, not the cable we was getting. So then I get out here, and you can get the whole season.
Oh, he don't. Well, we were watching them all for free, and then Amazon wanted to pull them off. So now we owners. We own Andy Griffith.
Yeah, a lot of people wouldn't even know that. A lot of people that I know now probably wouldn't even know what that show is.
No.
Every
night.
Day,
we go to bed to Andy Griffith. Well, he go to bed to Andy Griffith. I be on my phone.
Yeah.
And if I ever want to just give him like a little extra love, that is definitely a love language for me to put my phone down, snuggle up into him, and watch Andy Griffith. Like, literally watch it.
But you laugh when you do it, though.
No, I laugh at him.
No,
and
you
the
laugh.
fact that he's laughing so hard. He is having the time of his life. So I be trying to give him a little time to enjoy it, even though I'd be so like, I don't get what's so funny. I don't understand. It's such a simple humor.
It is. It is a simple humor, but sometimes you need that.
Yeah,
you know how
it's
sometimes
a great
you
way
be
to
like,
wind
I be
down.
like, what you want to watch? You be like, something I got to think.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Okay.
And it's very nostalgic because most of the times when I used to watch that, I was suspended from school, and so they used to have the truancy officer used to be rolling through, and if he seen you out, so there were certain hours you couldn't go out, so I used to watch it then, and there was a long time that I didn't even know that show was in black and white because we only had a black and white TV, and then we finally got a color. I was like, oh, didn't know that, which made it doper because he don't
even like the episodes in color.
Nah.
Cause I'm like, can we just get the ones in color? Cause I'd probably watch it more. And he's like, it's not as good.
No, it's not.
Like, what?
That is the dopest show. I'm telling you, that's my shit.
I guess.
And honestly, I'm still mad about the fact that I've probably ever seen about 4 people in Mayberry.
Black people.
Black people.
I have not seen one yet.
No, there's been like 4 out of all the seasons I didn't watch, but
actually, I saw one in they were just a townsperson.
Yeah, that's when you usually see them.
Mm-hmm.
No, they never had a line.
Oh, okay.
No. They was in the background.
And you supporting it. Look at you.
I'm bad, y'all. I'm bad. I'm sorry.
What's the one piece of advice you learned in prison that still applies, or even applies more now?
Advice that I learned in prison. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you the honest truth. I used to have this homeboy, and he was from, well, I ain't gonna say where he's from, but he from the house. And we was talking when I was at Walla Walla.
Do people know what that means when you say from the house?
When I say from the house, California. So me and him was talking on the yard. I've probably been locked up like 2 years. And one thing he used to say was, hey, man, I'm going to tell you something. Watch your homies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And he ain't necessarily just talking about people from your hood. He's just talking about the same thing that my partner Sneaky T used to tell me. It's like meeting cats over a bowl of oatmeal is real sketchy. We call that, when you meet cat over a bowl of oatmeal, that means you ain't know him on the streets. And so what you have to understand is, even though I advocate for the cats coming up out of there in prison, prison's prison. And there's a lot of cats in there that don't even have a relationship with people in their family because of them, because of themselves. And so why would they have a relationship with you that's worth anything? You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of people be thinking. And a lot of times it does come into fruition like that. So he said that, and then I took the advice to heart, but at the same time, I got burned a few times.
Who was that?
So, well, you don't know him, but my partner Halfhead.
Halfhead.
Halfhead. His name was Halfhead. He's from Long Beach. Yeah, he got out a long time ago. He out there. He's doing it well. He's hustling still, but he's doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? And he's a cat from Long Beach, and we was talking about Long Beach and South Central a lot. And that was one thing he told me, and it's always rang true. But like I said, I got burned a couple times because there's a couple cats in there that you do meet and you give them benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? And then you see what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But that rule still applies out here. And I think when I got here, I told you the very first thing we had to do is watch our circle.
Yeah, still.
Yeah, because me and you, our space is our sanctuary. And bringing people in our space, talking to people, having their problems, issues in our, like, you don't want people in your space who is just there for an opportunity, you know? And sometimes people just want an opportunity to do you wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, that's all they need. And so that rang true when I was locked up, and it's rang true since I've been out, that you have to watch cats.
You're very protective about our space, and I actually really love that. At first I thought it was like, okay, relax, like what's the problem? But I mean, I get it. Like, even I think it kind of comes because I used to always think that I was going to have like the house where everybody was always coming through. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I told you that, and you were like, not my house. You're like, hey, people ain't just be coming through my house. But I wanted the house kind of like my grandma had, where everybody just was comfortable. They just came in. Everybody was cool. They knew where the food was. They knew where everything was at, and they could just kind of expect a cozy home experience. I can still create that as with it comes with an invitation, I guess. And that's Babe is good about invitation.
I'm big on that because like I know criminals, and I don't care what stage in life you are in. Like I just said, an opportunity will present themselves.
Yeah.
And so the stakes are a lot huger now than it was when I was incarcerated and when I was younger. If I let somebody in my circle and they do us wrong, the consequences can be really, really heavy. Mm-hmm. And I'm not here to deal with that. So to prevent that, you know, looking forward, it's just kind of like, if you won't fit certain criteria, you ain't about to know where we live at. You ain't about to get no invites. You know, but none of that. If you live in a certain way that's contrary to the way I'm living, I'm sorry. Do your thing, and I love you, but do it from over there, partner.
I know, that's the unfortunate part, is it's unfortunate, but I think it's with love. Like anybody that we ever have to separate ourselves from, it's never like we're saying like, oh, we're better and we don't want to be. It's just like, I'm going to let you live. You live how you living, and that's okay. We just don't have to do the same things.
Yeah, for sure. And plus my focus is different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, like, we've talked about this before, about like a revolutionary man can't be a reactionary woman. And a revolutionary man don't want to be out with reactionary dudes, like hanging out with them and getting advice and sitting down and growing and all that. Like a revolutionary wants a revolutionary. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's how you build. Mm-hmm. And that's not to say nothing about a reactionary. Do your thing, but that's not the circle of cats I want to be around. I want to be around cats that, you know what I'm saying, are trying to do something every day, have ambition, and at the same time, if it has to go down, it has to go down. All about protecting the family and all that type of shit. Protecting their wife. Don't say nothing about my wife because you might get smacked.
Don't
you know,
say
that type
nothing
of
about
thing.
your wife.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right.
Sometimes that happens. True story.
You did a little glam.
Okay. This might be a hard question or a deep question.
All right, shoot.
What event in my life do you regret missing the most?
Oh, when your mom passed away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I knew that one. That is the biggest one, probably.
You had a lot of events. That's what I was talking about earlier, about a lot of things that happened in your life that probably would have been better if you had someone there with you. But when your mom passed away and I found out and I couldn't get to you, that killed me. That killed me. Yeah. And it was more about you, so I don't want to elaborate on that, but it did. It killed me. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I got a visit from a friend of ours who came and told me, and I immediately, like, ended the visit. I think I was in the visit probably like 30 minutes, and I went back and called you. Mm-hmm. You were home by then, right?
Yeah, we had just got back from viewing my mom, because, I had just got home.
Yeah, and you were real solemn. And I know how you are.
Because I was processing.
Yeah. You kind of have delayed reaction with stuff. So I'm sitting over there and I want to do something, but at the same time, I kind of feel at the time that you kind of would rather not be on the phone and just kind of like rather do your thing, but you kind of still wanted to talk to me because this was something major that was happening. We had to do that with so many things in life.
This actually makes me kind of want to cry because I'm thinking about it and how, like, when you just said, like, you want to be on the phone but didn't really. one thing prison does not ever just let you have, like, we could not afford to just have me have the time to just process that with you, because literally every single minute charge is costing you. Mm-hmm. And at that time it was like 2003, so we were still paying like $10-12.
No, it was like 18 to $20 a call.
Still then?
Yeah.
When my mom passed?
Yeah, it was a lot.
Dang, I thought it had gotten less than that. But even so then you see.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I already was talking to him so far and few between.
Yeah.
And then that having such a traumatic thing happen, and like, you were writing me like crazy, but I didn't have the anything really to write back. No. But then I wanted to talk to you, and I needed you to keep writing me, but it was just, that was a hard.
It was like, who helps their wife through a grieving process from the joint, and the only thing you can offer is I love yous and I wish I could be there for you. So that's on top of the list. When you graduated college, all the jobs that you got, all the vacation that you went on, I regretted not being there for all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And I remember the times where you were just kind of having a hard time with, you know what I'm saying, just like wanting to go to work every day, and just kind of how you was feeling on a daily basis, want to be there for that. But Susu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is the hardest one. I mean, that was like the start of a bunch of bad times in my life. Yeah, it was. That was the beginning of that.
Like, honestly, that was let's say, how long was that was a stretch of bad times? So how many years would you say that stretch was?
A solid 10.
Yeah.
I mean, I was severely depressed for at least 10. Mm-hmm. But the sad part to me is that, like, nobody noticed it. I either I covered it very well, or they just didn't want to press it. And I think maybe I don't know. I can't speak for other people, but yeah, nobody noticed it. Nobody, they would say like, oh, she's in a bad place, but there was no help offered. And I didn't know how to help myself because I was just in it. Mm-hmm. But I was just trying to keep functioning and keep going. And apparently that's all. I say that because it's not on anybody. It was just the situation, but it's easy how all you need to do is appear kind of okay for people to just let it be. Mm-hmm. And as bad as I was, and thinking about how low and like where my mental was at so many of those times, and not to have anybody, that is very sad to me. Yeah. Now that I'm coming out of it and been on the other side of it for a while, at least that deep of a depression. But yeah, it was a solid 10 years that was just really a bad time. Mm-hmm. And you were like my only bright spot, my only consistent spot, my only thing that was just like the thing I knew.
I remember when you used to have like attacks in the visiting room. Remember that? Like you breathing, like you couldn't breathe, like kind of like an anxiety.
In the visiting room?
Yeah, like you'd be sitting across the table from me, you'd be like, can't breathe right now.
I do not remember that.
Yeah, and I would be like, I didn't know what to do then, but at least I was there, because you were having these on a daily basis.
Really?
Yeah, you have these on a daily basis. You were seeing somebody about this.
Yeah.
There was a doctor you were seeing about this.
I was going to somebody.
Yeah, and a couple times in the visiting room when I was at Monroe, when we were there, you started to just like not be able to breathe. And it was happening so much on a daily basis that if it happened in the visiting room, I would just kind of be grateful, just because I would hope it wouldn't happen that night. Mm-hmm. Like if it happened, it should happen here and she's good. Mm-hmm. It happened like those things are like right at the top of the list, but they still don't catapult Sue. Yeah. And not being there for that. No, it was just like your life was changing and I couldn't be there for you, and I hated that. I'm telling you. So any changes going forward, I'm here for.
Okay.
You know what I mean? All right.
Okay, I think I have one more question. It was from a gal that wrote it in the comments yesterday night. Mm-hmm. All right, so this is a question from our girl, Ladies Talk.
Okay. And
she says, hi, lovely couple. My question to Creed is, how did you know that Spice was the one? I married my husband while in, and he told me he knew the first day he saw me at his sister's house. I've been with him 2 weeks after we met. We've had 5 more years to go. He's been in 7 years. And as always, thank you for sharing your lives with us. Thanks for your question, Ladies Talk. We appreciate you being here.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
So how'd you know I was the one? Tell the people. Tell the world. Well, they want to know.
So they want to be all up in my business. Honestly, so there was a time period there where I had left town.
Okay.
You
this
were
is
younger.
before you were locked up. Okay.
Before I was incarcerated.
Okay.
And I had left town and went down to college.
Okay.
And was down there for a few months and came back home for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't seen you in about 6 months. And thought about you a lot. I kept hearing about you through family members and whatnot and how you was doing.
Because I think I might have talked to you one time.
Yeah, we might have talked one time.
And I wrote you a letter.
Yeah, and I was moving. And I think you was kind of moving and shaking a little bit too up here. Like you was kind of,
I had
doing
come
your
into
thing.
my own.
Yeah.
A little bit.
And so I came back up here, and the night I flew back in, it was supposed to be a surprise for you. Mm-hmm. And she didn't know that I was supposed not to know that I'd come back. She said she knew.
I did know.
But everybody was trying to surprise her. So I went and hid in the back room. She came over to Mom's spot, and I went and hid in the back room. And I hear her in another room, and I walk out because she out there talking shit. They like, yeah, you wouldn't be saying that if Creed was here and whatnot. And they basically, she's like, well, he ain't my man, this, that, and the third. So I come around the corner and be like, I ain't what? And she was surprised, but I'm going to tell y'all, I hadn't seen her and I gave her a hug. And when I hugged her and I embraced her, like, I did never want to let you go. Like, from that moment on, I didn't even think about another girl.
Really?
Yeah.
That was the moment?
Yeah, because I used to tell you.
Actually, you're right.
Because you used to ask me a lot of questions about why I
right.
used to react to certain things the way I did. And I used to be like, I didn't know how to react because at the time it wasn't good for us to be together. And I was definitely fully invested in the streets. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I'm out here trying to do my thing, but I'm thinking about you from that hug. And then we know what we used to do after that. We used to, listen, y'all, our families wanted us to be together. They used to always talk about us being together. And then...
Well, the moms did. I don't think my dad wanted us.
No, he didn't.
The moms were cool about it.
But we used to be on the low, kissing and doing all that type of stuff.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, we was
sneaking in bedrooms and stuff, in the bathroom.
So we was fucking with each other. So when I came home and I embraced her and all that, it was just like, yeah, that's who I want to be with. That's what I want to fuck with. Mm-hmm. And long story short, we messed around and did a lot of things between that time I came home and the time I got incarcerated. And it was fun, but it was never enough because I was just going through, is this right?
Yeah.
When is the right time?
Yeah.
She still got this to do and all this over here, and I'm over here doing this. It was just a lot. So I always knew incarceration did get in the way of me being able to fulfill a lot of the dreams and destinies that I felt we had going forward because you was dope back then. I don't know if you remember, we used to sit and talk. Yeah. I used to come over to your spot and sit in your room and talk to you for a long time, and I used to take that chair, turn that chair around, squat in it, and we used to just be talking and hollering, and it used to flow so effortlessly.
And that was before either one of us were really even like, ooh, let's like each other. Yeah. We were just really always had good conversation.
And so then, like I say, y'all, to rehash, that hug, that embrace, I ain't want to let her go. I don't want to slob you down right then. You know what I'm saying? So.
All right. Well, thanks for answering the questions. That's gonna wrap up our interview with Arola. Thank you, Ladies Talk, for your question. And if you guys have any more questions, feel free to always put them in the chat. I do keep a tally and keep just a list that we'll go down and get to all those questions. But one thing that we've been thinking about is we know that we've been wanting to share some story times, and we just can't figure out what story to tell. Because there's just so many. I mean, they range from crazy, scary, sad, sexy, dramatic, just crazy, right? So what we thought would be cool is that if you guys just give us like keywords like loyalty, betrayal, cheating,
sex,
I don't know, crimes, reentry, like smuggling, anything. Just give us words. Put the words down at the bottom. We're going to put those words in a jar and we'll just pick the words. Because I'm telling you, I think we have a story on every single word you could possibly. Anything you could want tea on, we have a story about it. So
you could say cardboard box. You can say anything.
You could say anything. I literally just say words and we will pick the words, and that'll be how we do our stories, our story times. So please start doing that. Leave that in the bottom, or put that in the description. Not the description. Put that in the comment section. But yeah, how do you feel about your interview? You feel like you got all your questions? Got your answers out?
Yeah, I let the people know. You know what I'm saying? I hope that's what they wanted to know.
Yeah, I think it gave them a little bit of a different view of our relationship, because I think the things that they have seen, which I will put the cards here, with our last episodes or our past episodes with the Love It After Lockup, we did give a lot of generalizations. I think some of these questions gave maybe a more in-depth look into some of our relationship. You don't think?
I'm with the business.
I am too. Let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it. So keep the questions rolling. Please, y'all, like, comment, share, and subscribe. We would love for y'all to become a part of the Spice Rack. We have a good time over here, and we are starting to build our family, or continuing to build our family, and you guys have been treating us so well. So please continue to do so. Like I said, our goal is to be here every week on Thursdays. But we busy. We busy out here and just got a lot going on. So bear with us. If you don't see us, I'll put a message on our Instagram, which I'll link that. It'll be in the corner, I'll put it on the community tab. So check those for us too.
Absolutely. And for y'all out there, you know what I'm saying, just want to give a shout out to the ladies out there who is supporting somebody in prison. Everybody, period, but the ladies out there in particular who support somebody, just give you a shout out and give you much respect. Y'all the real ones, you know what I'm saying, really do appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? I understand every single part of every struggle. You know what I'm saying? As a black man, because a black woman's always been there doing mine.
And they stay there.
You know what I'm saying? And they stay there. So just shout out to y'all, you know what I'm saying? And the cast is rolling, you know what I'm saying? Do your best.
Do your best.
Do your best for those that are supporting.
So until next time, Spice Rack, thank you so much for watching. And until then, we will see you later, and we will be black next week.
For sure. Y'all be easy, be safe out there.
Bye, guys.
All right, peace.